that. So even if you don't have a heart of compassion, which we all should, and say, gosh, it's horrible, nobody should die homeless, you're paying for it. It's coming out of your pocket. You're a taxpayer. You pay for these people to go in and out of hospitals. And that alone should get us all trying to look at solutions.
Well, I've had problems with alcohol and drugs for a number of years now, and I got to the point where it was unmanageable, so I went into detox and did a brief stint in detox. I did a 7-day detoxification, and since then have been struggling to find affordable shelter because of the very, very high cost of living in Vancouver, and having trouble finding gainful employment. So what I've resorted to is panhandling from time to time to come up with shelters when there are no beds available at the shelters downtown.
And you know, what I'm doing is I'm just playing people's stories that are touching on different points. And low income housing. I mean, back in the 80s, there wasn't the homeless problem we have now because there was housing. There was low income housing. And especially relevant in this community, from what I'm told, you guys are going through an economic boom, which is great. It's really great, but the housing stock is getting less and less in supply and demand, and what's available is going to start charging more and more, which actually puts more people at risk of being homelessness. So the good thing is that you're aware of it and that you can start doing something now. But low income housing is something that we need to address, not, you know, throughout North America.
We go around pick empties. My brother used to come in here and help me. Let's go for empties, huh? Okay, so we hit the bins, huh? Then people do give us empties, huh? And so we've been making our money since then, huh? And then people come by, or even at A&W, they'll come over and give me $20, $10 to eat, and that's what we do. We buy something to eat, and then we just keep on doing what we do best, huh? And we've been doing this, I've been doing this for 8 years, and then I went indoors and I quit drinking for a year. And then I fell off, went 4 months, and then I went back on the wagon, and then, but I still went out and picked. We call it picking.
Okay.
And we make our money for whatever we need, like food.
One of the things, I mean, I get asked this so much, is what's the difference between American homelessness and Canadian homelessness? And obviously the Aboriginal story. And I fell in love with the culture. I was honored before this road trip start to be given an Aboriginal name in a naming ceremony. But I mean, here's just a wonderful culture. These people are hunting and fishing, and now they're picking. It's a scavenger society. They're picking garbage. You know what I mean? That's no way for anybody to live. You know, especially this wonderful, gorgeous culture. And did you hear him? He went inside and stayed sober. I mean, that's magic right there. You know, it's hard. It's nearly impossible to do homeless sober. You're homeless?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It sucks.
Gosh, how old are you?
22.
And
I just came from Ontario, so.
And where are you sleeping?
In a tent, somewhere.
How long have you been homeless?
Probably about a month now.
How did you end up on the streets?
Well, I was living in a place, at a home first, but I got kicked out halfway through because I couldn't control what I said or did, so.
And why is that? You told me you have an...
I have ADHD, OCD, a learning disability, a listening disability, and anxiety.
You shouldn't be living in a tent.
No. I know I'm smart, but I can't see it. I don't know why.
So what's your future like?
It sucks, because I lost all my ID, everything important to me. I lost everything.
Oh my gosh. How do you survive?
I don't know how I do it. I don't know.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
smarter.
I think you're brilliant.
To be rich. And to become independent somehow on my own.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me. Amy's a wonderful young woman, and you know, the youth homelessness. Now she's 22, so I'm addressing the 25 on down. Is one of the growing demographics in North America, not just in Canada, but also in the States. You have a couple of issues that are very huge. Is that, you know, minors can't sign leases, so housing for kids is you know, we have to create housing for kids. It's so important. That's our future. If you research homelessness, you'll see cycles happening. We have to get Amy off the streets so that she doesn't end up there for the rest of her life. And then when she has kids, her kids end up homeless, and so on and so on. Right now, she's at risk. She's a wonderful person. She just needs to be encouraged. I mean, her self-esteem on the streets. The other thing that is happening, I'm told, in Canada is, you know, the health system overly medicates homeless youth. And then when they're 18, they're cut off. So it's like winding somebody up on a roller coaster and then throwing them off. So what does that have? You know, I mean, you can only imagine what that actually does to tomorrow's future.
I came here 3 years ago, you know, because this is supposed to be a diamond capital of Canada, I guess, or North America, or, you know, the world maybe. I don't know, but that's what they say anyways. And I came here because, you know, I'm a carpenter. I came here, I don't got no qualifications or no tickets or anything like that, like, you know, to say I am a carpenter. But because I got no tickets, it's hard for me to get a job as a carpenter.
Yeah, no certificate.
Yeah, but back home, you know, I don't even have to look for my job. My job usually comes find me.
Right.
And
no, back home, you were raised on the land, you were telling me.
Yeah, I was raised on the land, like, you know, up until I was maybe, every chance I got, like every chance, like, you know, they told me, like, oh, we're gonna go hunting, we're gonna go this, we're gonna go there. So, never really had to ask me or bug me to go.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, you know, that's my culture.
The ending right there, that's my culture. That's his culture. We need to listen to the Aboriginal culture. Here's a wonderful man. He went, you know, I made my living playing rock and roll drums for 26 years. He went on to say he's a drummer. His drumming actually meant something. Mine was just music and having fun. His was like a status, and it was gorgeous. And we have to help these people. I know this was in Yellowknife. There's a saying, I left my heart in San Francisco. I left my heart in Yellowknife. Gosh, I'm going to get emotional. There's beautiful people just laying drunk on the street, and we're walking by them. We're ignoring them. And that needs to stop. It really needs to stop. The one woman that I was there visiting actually said something that was so profound. And it really is universal, whether it be Amy or being the Aboriginal culture, it's homeless youth or whatever, is that in Yellowknife, they have a festival. And everybody goes and they cook and they build and they clean and they work on this festival for 2 weeks. And they stop drinking because they have purpose and something to do. So once that festival's over, they start drinking again. And then they start, you know, and that's exactly what Cassian's saying. He's saying, you know, I came here for a better life. My culture is not like your culture. I wasn't able to go home. I have nothing to do. I might as well drink. And we have to look at their culture for solutions, not do what we think works. Last night I was in a friendship center here, and it was so awesome. A young girl sang me a song with a beaver drum. And I mean, it was the Aboriginal culture. It worked. It just felt right. Where, you know, that's what we need. We need to listen to them. So what's the solution? How do you get people off the streets?
to live. Not this Bailey house fucking shit they're talking about there. They started all of a sudden getting programmed and bringing piss tests to you and stuff. I don't mind all that, but still, it's not fair. It was supposed to be open for everybody anytime. Any homeless man to go down there, they're supposed to be able to go down there and sober up and do their whatever. Not go to meetings every damn morning. And that's kind of a joke. That wasn't part of the deal. And we all had a big meeting down at St. Pat's Church there a few years ago before she started this place up. But I'm not complaining. It's nice. It's still going. It's just the fact that there's still a lot of us kicked out of Sally Ann. We got no place to go. It's like, I don't know what the solution is. It's just got to find someplace solid to live. A lot of us too, or a lot of us we're on disability payments and we can't afford it. We have no choice but to keep doing what we're doing. And summertime's the best because now I could go down the road over here and go to sleep on a bench for the night, you know, and not worry about anything, especially a nice breezy day like this. But it's the winter time that freaking get picked up steady by the RCMP. It's like I should just about start getting my mail forwarded over there.
You know, what Clayton's referring to is they spend millions of dollars on a 30-unit building for the community that is empty. There's not one person in it, and hasn't been, because we put our rules on it. We didn't listen to the Aboriginal culture and said, how do we build a community to get you off the streets? We said, we're going to build this $1 million 30-unit building, and you're going to go by our rules because this is what works, and the building is empty. And that, to me, is not really the best use of money. It's not the best solution. And we need to start listening to the Aboriginal culture.
They think, you know, just pull up your socks and get through it. That's fine if it's a mental addiction, but what I do is physically addicting. Right. People say, what's it like? I said, when you're dope sick, it's like the worst flu you've ever had, multiplied times 10 with diarrhea and vomiting. Right. And that's how the only way they can come close to fathoming dope sickness, and they don't understand. Just pull up your socks, grit your teeth, and just do it. Well, it's easier said than done, you know. It's not mental, it's completely physical. I'd love to stop doing it, but...
I always tell people if I was dope sick, then I'm vulnerable, and if I'm vulnerable out homeless, then I'm mugged and I'm done. You know what I mean? So,
exactly. It's a vicious circle that, you know, there's no way. And once again, you're in this town. I mean, I'm from East Vancouver, where $10 will get you feeling better and get you moving. Up here, $80 for they don't have what I use heroin in Vancouver. They have clinical heroin, which is Oxycontin. And the cheapest you can get one, it's $1 a milligram. So for me, even just to be able to move and stop the sickness, it's $40. Right. And $80 if I want to get a buzz.
People also don't understand it takes over your life.
Exactly.
Because you want off.
I don't want to do this. I'm 42 years old. I want a life. There's still things I want to do that I haven't done. I mean, I don't enjoy this. This is not enjoyable. I don't have 1 second. I might have 15 minutes of enjoyment a day, and that's when I do my fix and I'm unsick. As pathetic and stupid as that sounds, that's the only enjoyment I get out of life. Sex doesn't excite me. Nothing excites me except getting money in my pocket and getting my fix. That's the only thing that comes close to happiness for me. You know, as pathetic and hurting as it sounds, right?
Oh my gosh.
You know?
So, what's your future like? What are you trying to do?
Well, it's bleak if I don't get off it, but once again, I'm gonna have to go back to the West Coast where it's easier for you to get access services that can get off, because you can't even here. The detox will keep you for 5 or 7 days, and then they want you to hit the streets because treatment usually takes a month and a half to get into, and there's no safe place you can go to stay off the dope for the 6 or 8 weeks. When you're in the mood that you want to get clean, you want to keep it going. You don't want to have these breaks, and they want you to hit the streets for a month, try and stay clean until you get your treatment date, and it's physically impossible. And by the time your treatment dates come throughout, you're already back into full-blown addiction, and the mindset of getting clean is gone. You're right.
Now, right before this in the interview, Cameron talked about how his girlfriend fell asleep in a dumpster, and they took the dumpster to the dump, and they were never able to find her. But the important thing here, and I can say this as somebody with 16